Hi there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my first time trying out the beginner's guide. Now, things are looking a bit hectic today because for the first time ever, I'm trying to stream on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So yeah, welcome guys. It's going to be a bit of a crazy ride. It's been kind of hard setting this up so far, you know. It's been a lot of problems going on here and there, but we're getting there. We're getting there nice and slow. So yeah, I just want to apologise for the delays there's been. I'm just going to polish off this drink. How are you all doing? I'm doing pretty well myself. A few of you already asked. Yeah, it's been a bit chaotic, but like I said, we're getting there. Need to put myself offline on a few things. There we go. Right, okay, there we go. And beginner's guide. Right, so thank you very much, Wind, Jay, Akana, for moderating YouTube for me, and, you know, everyone else who's sorting out all the other stuff. Rules, yeah. Wind is posting a few rules over to the YouTube chat. Just beware of those, please. I should really put them in the description of the video, shouldn't I? That'd be a good idea. Be a good idea. But yeah, beginner's guide. I just want to say a big thank you to Fido, my friend who actually got me this game. I'm doing this as a request for him. I meant to do it some good 6 months ago, but obviously stuff happened with my own place, and yeah, I had to move. Been going through quite a few things recently, and I've just been putting this off. I've just been putting this game off. I have no idea what on earth this game is about. Absolutely no idea. Though I do know it's somewhat related to the development of Stanley Parable. I've played a little bit of the Stanley Parable, but yeah, it wasn't really my kind of game, so to speak. But, you know, I'm willing to give anything a go for the most part. I felt the Stanley Parable was a great game, but perhaps not worth the initial price tag it was. You know, I got it kind of cheap much later on down the line, and yeah, it was fairly entertaining overall. Right, so let me just check the options, make sure that I've got everything sorted. Read it on the stream, never heard of this game, glad you got it. Yeah, it's going to be really hard for me to pay attention to the chat. I probably should have changed, hang on a moment. Oh, if the webcam's out of sync, guys, just it does go out of sync on YouTube. Just hit F5. Hit F5 if you're on YouTube. I found there's a lot of syncing errors on YouTube for some reason, so just hit F5 and it will resync the webcam to my mouth, or it should do anyway. If it doesn't, just let me know, because I really want to know what's going on here. Right, appearance. I need to change the chat so I can see more chat messages myself at once, so I can actually pay attention to what you guys are saying, because so many messages are coming through. You know, it's crazy. So how do I do that? Be a good start, because then I will be able to respond to you better, won't I? Really, about a 1 second delay seems okay for me. That's over on Twitch though. Right. Good stream. Yeah, we haven't even started yet. I won't really say that. Maybe I'm being a bit hard on myself. I don't know how to change it. Oh god, come on, give me a sec here. I'm literally flicking through everything. No, I'm pretty sure there was a way to change it. Box, right, here we go, compact. That hasn't changed it on my end. That's changed it in the stream, but it hasn't changed it on my end. And I kind of need it to change on my end. Let's change that back again. That's box. Because that looks nicer on the stream, admittedly. But, yeah. I need to be able to see the bloody thing myself. Right. Hi, everyone who's joining. Just bear with me a second. Having a lot of issues. First time streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. So, yeah. No, I do not see a way to do it. Let me just have a quick look at this. I don't think there is, unfortunately. I'm just going to have to kind of bite down and hope that I can pay attention to the chat for the most part. Yeah. I'll have a play around with it after I've streamed, but hopefully in the future I'll be able to change it so that I'm able to see more of your chat messages. I could just space it out a bit more. I didn't think about that. That will help a little bit. If I stretch the chat out in width, at least people who are writing longer messages, I'll be able to see more of them. Right, there we go. Okay then. Gosh, there's a lot of people watching on YouTube. I'm really surprised. Really surprised. Because, you know, it's been such a long time. And I'm really grateful that you guys have joined in. So you guys who have refreshed on YouTube, can you please tell me if, it's, if the chat, my voice is in sync with my mouth on the webcam again, because it should be. Over on Twitch it's fine, but yeah, YouTube has a few syncing errors here and there. Also, is my gamepad working? Oh, it is. There we go. That's one thing I didn't test. Closed captioning, yep. It's because we all love you, Lonnie. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, there should be quite a bit of delay in comparison to before people on Twitch, because I'm having to stream to something, and then stream to YouTube and Twitch through that, if you get what I mean. So there should be like maybe a 4-second extra delay than there was before. I don't know, if you right-click on the stream itself, you might be able to see. Right. Yep, everything seems good here. I did test it beforehand. I didn't go into the game itself properly. Right, okay, so let's go for it, shall we? Not for me, it's perfect. Right, okay, that's fantastic. It's still out of sync for me on both. That might be win because you're trying to run both at the same time. Just turn one off. You don't need to run both at the same time. You can, just watch one of the two streams, can't you? Oh, hi there, Jen. Do you want me to give you your sword as well? Just bear with me just a moment. Right. Because I've got another one who needs to be a mod in here. She's one of my mods on Twitch. Everyone who is a mod on Twitch is a mod over here as well, or needs to be made one. Right, so here we go. Shotgun Jen, add moderator. There we go. Though Jen said she might not be around YouTube as much because she watches most of my streams on a tablet. So she'll probably be mostly on Twitch as opposed to YouTube, yeah. Right, okay, so here we go. Anyone have any idea how long this game is, by the way? I didn't really question that. Make sure your audio is on. Well, guys, let me know if it's a bit too quiet for you. Obviously, it should be sat a little bit below my voice, but not too far below.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote the Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder,
Counter-Strike.
what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves.
Testing the controls.
I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
Reminds me of the last Revelations.
It's 2008.
Yeah, you're
Coda
right,
starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet. He just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Right. Sorry if I'm being a bit quiet, guys. Obviously, just listening to the narrative. Okay, so finally, I'm able to talk. Fido has actually entered the chat, I believe, on YouTube. Just want to make yourself apparent, Fido? Yep, this is the guy who got me the game, the guy I'm playing this for. Just want to say a huge thank you to you. I don't know if you caught it earlier, but I already said one. Right, so a major problem I'm having here already. I am an inverted player. I'm a scrub. Yeah, I need my vision to be up and down the opposite of that. So, can I, oh god, I'm gonna have to calibrate it myself. Right, move forward, move left, look up, so I need that down, look left, interact, menu select, what's that? Is that just start? I hope it is. Let's go for A. Go back, a menu, X, pause, oh, here we go, right, chat option, what? Y? I mean, I'm pressing button Y for it, B, oh god, I'm assigning things, this is bad. Okay, I've just assigned things to random stuff here, hopefully this works out okay. Yeah, there we go, I've got my invert, no, I haven't got my inversion at all. Hey, that didn't work at all, did it? Oh, come on. I'm just gonna have to tolerate it, aren't I, at this rate? Or I could use mouse, that works. Right, move forward, move left, look up. I want to look down. It doesn't like me. Yeah. Lonnie is having to think, big problem. Oh dear. Right, so A, go back a menu, put that on Y, pause, start, chat option. I'll put these on the shoulder buttons just so, oh, it won't let me use the back ones. Pop it on B. There we go. Right. Let's see if it's worked this time. No, it hasn't. Okay, I'm just going to tolerate it. Let's do that. Oh, God. No, don't tell me I'm going to have to first-person shoot as well, because I can't do that if I haven't got a version on.
Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Right. Should I write a bad review of this on Steam just because it doesn't have a version in it?
You can click to fire the gun.
Well, I could do if. Why am I kind of straying off to the right here as well? Is this my control? You know what? I'm not going to use my controller. That's a good idea. Let's disconnect that, forget about it, and use the keyboard and mouse. That's probably better. This is a first-person game, so it's probably better I do that anyway. I just figured maybe because it had controller enabled, it would be better on controller. Alright. Okay, so Whisper Machine, status active, evacuate immediately. Right. And I can shoot a gun, but it's very, very quiet. Is it supposed to be like that, or is my audio fucked up as well? Oh, I'm out of bullets? Oh shit. I hope I haven't actually got to kill anything here, or otherwise I might be in a bit of trouble.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Is that referring to me? How dare they?
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development.
Oh, yeah.
For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Oh, okay. Wait a moment.
Ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
Oh, okay. I did a good job of that, clearly. Can I go through here or not? Oh, I can. Right. I was trying to get through glass. Couldn't really see it. What are the other buttons then? I mean, it doesn't really tell you on the keyboard. Though, actually, no, I think the narrator will tell us when we need to actually...
You can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Oh. I miss older games where you could, like, jump over boundaries and actually see... Like the Halo games and stuff like that, where you could jump over certain boundaries you're not supposed to get over and see the rest of the world that the developers did not want you to see. It just doesn't seem to be as possible in
has a labyrinth on it.
Oh no.
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I've had enough of labyrinths recently.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam
I can be
is
the
part of
hero.
the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough...
Yeah, because of red rope. Enough labyrinths.
Your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
I don't even know these people. What do I benefit from this? Do I even get to see a face before I do this? Evidently not. Oh.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
What? Oh, okay. I've got to walk back into it. Up. Okay. Sure, why not? Oh, hello.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Wind does not live under my desk, for the record. Just want to clarify that. Right. This looks like that wallpaper that animated...
In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Oh, okay. Interesting. The past... Wait a moment. I want to go over and have a look at that. Luckily, I'm good at inversion in this. Sorry, any game, so yeah, you can probably imagine why. The past was behind it. Yeah, that's exactly what it says. Right, okay, so let's go this way. Yep. It reminds me of that screensaver that the early versions of Windows had, if you know what I'm referring to. I can't remember what it's called, but was it even a screensaver?
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Keep changing. Was that there before? It really wasn't, was it? Okay. Yeah, the maze screensaver. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. It becomes clearer when she stops and looks. Does that mean I'm female now? Oh no. I mean, hooray! But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works.
Thank you, Dragon Mage.
It gets out quick. Okay, next one.
I hope to be continuing them quite soon, actually, so, well, continuing Tomb Raider Chronicles. Just been going through a few issues recently, you might be aware. Right, this is, oh yeah, I can go forward now. Whoop. Why do I feel so floaty in this game? Okay, this reminds me of some of the older games I played, whereby, basically, like, you tap forward, and you see, like, if I press it and hold it for a little longer, I seem to kind of hover a little bit more forward than, you know, I should be stopping, so to speak. Do you get what I mean there? You are now entering. Like, I'll stop here, keep moving a little bit. I can only go...
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
No, I'm done. No, I'm kidding. Right, December 2008. Nonsense.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Direction. Right. Whoop.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games.
Coda took some weird
He would really
drugs.
only talk to me about his work as he was making it.
That's exactly what's going through my mind at the moment.
Like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do? I know it's tempting, but there's actually nothing over here. Sorry.
Okay, well I thought I'd check first. I mean, the giant staircase did seem far more alluring. Alright. Where's that even going up to? Good lord. Okay, it's going up to that block here. Why does this look like sort of a prototype for Mass Effect or something? What's off the edge? More product placement. Oh, with the Pepsi. Yeah, I love a good refreshing Pepsi Cola. You can get one in your local Asda. Just got a decent paycheck out of that. For the record, guys, it's an ongoing joke I have. I mean, as well as my phone ringing. It is. I'm just gonna have to ignore that, unfortunately. I have this sort of product placement joke. I mean, I make no money off of my YouTube or Twitch at all, so yeah. Right. If that rings a second time, though, I will go check, see what's going on. I bet my mobile ring next. Where the fuck is it? Oh, it's in my pocket. Right. Let's have a look. I'll leave it there. If that rings, then I know that my mom is probably trying to get a hold of me or something. Pepsi Cherry is where it's at, yo. Oh, yep, here we go. I thought that would happen. I'm so sorry, guys. Just bear with me a sec. Hang on. Hello. Hello? Hi. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a stream at the moment. There's 47 people watching. Yeah. Yeah, I'm coming tomorrow, don't worry. Yeah, I can walk past the house if you like and pick her up. Yep. 7:10. Is that right? Yep, that's no worries. Okay. Do you want to say hello first, before you go? They're asking for you. Hang on a moment, I'll put you on loudspeaker. There you go, you're on loudspeaker.
Hello?
Well, they're not going to respond to you, so say something.
I'm sorry they're not answering me. You've been a bit ignorant, actually. I'm a bit shocked. I can't hear them. Where are they?
Got anything to say to them?
I want to go on the screen, actually, and talk on the phone at the same time, and that would be good then, wouldn't it?
I can barely hear you. Sorry, the loudspeaker quality isn't very good.
I'll shout then.
No, don't shout. That's not going to make it any better.
Everybody.
There we go.
I love you.
Oh, she loves you. There we go.
I love you all. You are fantastic.
Alright, take care.
Just got anything weird. Have fun, enjoy.
Cool. Thank you.
I'll join you soon. Bye-bye.
Alright, bye. Oh, she's going to join us. Okay. There we go. Right, sorry about that, guys. At least I made the most of the situation. Right, let's head up the stairs. Alright. Yeah, she sometimes joins the Twitch streams. Like, she has been recently anyway. Oh, I'm getting slower as I'm going further up the stairs.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens.
Oh.
So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Right. What if I don't want to? What if I'm enjoying this very steady pace here? I don't know why she has Mumbles as her username. It's just a play on words, I guess. Mumbles. Do you get it? Oh, what? Is this RuneScape? What the fuck? Stand on an X starting at a bear for 3 hours. You must address a rally group
and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
What? A rally group of eager press reporters. A game
Coda
of
would
only...
often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that
I like
he was
this idea the
actually
most.
a vibrant and compassionate person.
It feels like
But that
it could go
takes time
places.
to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Are you heading off, Mana? Thanks for joining, if so. Game is nothing but giant blocks of text explaining what's happening. Oh, okay. We're not going to find out what the rest of those say, unfortunately. Ready, set, fish. This guy worked for Sega. This room reminds me of Heavy Rain, don't know why. I kind of get what you mean there, for the most part. Alright, take care, Mana. Thank you for joining. Right.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Okay. Well, I just have to open the door. Right, this is dark. This is really dark. Have I got any flares in my inventory? Don't think I have, unfortunately. Well, there's definitely more room space than it kind of lets on. Is there like a trigger somewhere here? Oh no, don't look like there is. Wait a moment. If I open that and then close that and kind of run through, does that do anything? Other than lock me in? No, there's something on the other side to open it again. Yeah, I'm obviously getting that it has Stanley Parable vibes.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle
okay.
again soon.
That was pretty
We're gonna see
straightforward,
it a
actually.
lot.
Alright. That just reminds me of older games, though. You know, like having doors that you can run through. You know, by opening them and just having enough space to get through on time. What's with the 3 dots? I don't know why, but I'm very drawn to those. At the moment, all the colours and stuff reminds me of Mirror's Edge, actually, with the oranges and the whites going together, or more greys in this, I guess, and the lighting as well. If you get what I mean, like the strip
That seems to be
lighting.
it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
A what? Holy fuck. No way, no way. What the hell? Are you
How
kidding?
about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
That must have taken a long time for one person to do. By God. Right, so it's this again, and I can only run in a straight line. You are now exiting.
So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And
Hi, damn
once
Tusky.
we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
I'm getting those vibes too. Right, so March 2009. Said he quit developing 2011, right? The Great and Lovely Descent. Oh, okay. Well, that seems a lot more detailed than, well, excusing all the white space and
Let's talk about
nothing
video
else.
game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Streetwise Fool. It's the name of this cafe, I'm
To
guessing.
make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
I get that. I really get that. I mean,
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear,
Can I get over
boxy
there?
corridors.
seems to be on the other side of where the toilets are. No, not really. Wait, there's only disabled toilets here? Where the hell am I supposed to go? Or am I disabled in this game? Never know. Right, I can't really make it across there, can I? I'm just gonna fall. Oh, wait. Apparently I can by just dropping. I wonder what happens if I fall off the edge, though. I'm gonna try my best to get through this. I don't think that's gonna happen, though, because... yeah, it looks like, Oh, wait a moment. Huh. If I can probably fall down to one of these. Which one should I fall down to, though? Maybe that white one over there. Or maybe I can just kind of... Yep, there we go. Right. Over to this one. Oh yeah, The Great and Lovely Descent. That was the name of this, wasn't it? So this is The Descent, I guess. Good film. Right. This looks like a staircase. I can definitely use this to get a bit further down. Now I need to head over this way. I'm still very curious what happens if you fall off. I guess I'm gonna find out very soon. Because, I think that's gonna happen. There we go. Okay. A good drinking game would be taking a shot or sip whenever the narrator says Coda. I'd be fucking dead already. That's for certain. I think I can head over this way. Can I fall off here, maybe? Yep. Let's do that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nearly. Oh, here she comes. Here's my mom. She's in the Twitch chat. Hi there. Right. Should I make her a moderator? No, I'm just kidding. Let's not make her a moderator. She'll murder everyone. Right. Over this way. And down there. Well, my legs aren't broken yet, so that's a good sign. Well, they don't seem to be anyway. Yeah, so you're aware, Mum? I'm streaming on both YouTube and Twitch today, so yeah. Oh. Let's fall here. Was there any point in going all the way down? I'm pretty sure I could have just thrown myself off and I would have fallen down so much faster. But hey-ho. And now I'm running down a spiral staircase, which I don't even think I need to run. No, I do need to run around it, actually. There's a hardly visible piece of glass here. Yeah. What happens if I go all the way around it? Oh no, it's just a cylinder. Yeah. Right, what's this then? This music is very Apex Twin-esque. Yeah, for the record, the people who are joining now, around this time, recently joined, this game is kind of like a prototype set of games by someone that the creator of this game knows, or something like that, who stopped developing games around about 2011. It's been very unusual so far. Huh. This is incredibly ominous. I can't pronounce that word today, apparently. Oh god, okay, right, it's taking me up. Sure, why not? And I can go left or... Oh, no, I can't do either of those. It's not going to let me. Am I going further up? Don't crush me, please. Oh, it wants me to go... No. Okay, it wants me going here, then. Oh.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
Really?
If you don't mind, I think we're going to skip that.
Okay. Well, I'm okay with that. Oh, okay, back down again.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games.
Oh, this is going to be some sort of sassy comeback, isn't it?
Individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in, and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Wow. Okay, so this Coda, so far I'm gathering they're a very unusual character. For certain. Huh. How do we know Coda isn't just made up all along? How do we know, Sam93, thank you for joining by the way, that Coda isn't like his split personality or something like that? Oh no. Hi there, Piranha2, thanks for joining, and hi to anyone else who's joined in the meantime. I'm having a lot of people join, so unfortunately... Yes, Coda is you! Oh, genius, final boss Coda. Love it.
With the exact same solution as the last time.
Well, okay, let's stand here and just kind of figure this out. I can't quite remember, it's been too long. It's starting to sound like myself when I'm playing Tomb Raider now, aren't I? Right, there we go.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Okay. Coda is love, Coda is life. Okay. Gonna use Coda as my new username. Coda is just his favorite drink. Is Coda even a drink? What is Coda then? If it's a... What the fuck? If Coda's a drink, what is it exactly? Please describe it and tell me what country it's from. I'm curious. Huh? You there?
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Right. Sorry, my ear's a bit itchy. Coca-Cola. Ooh, I like the sound of that. So we have the option to say, number 1, yes, there was a world stamped with whiteness. 2, yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. 3, yes, there were these floating coloured blocks. I suppose any of those is right for the most part, but I think... Well, I didn't spend hours in the prison, I actually cheated my way out of that, apparently, so I'm gonna go with number 3. That's the world above. You've been there. Now, this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Number 1, yes I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. Number 2, no, I don't remember having to go through any puzzles. Or number 3, I prefer not to tell you. After all, we've only just met. This seems like such a massive... This last option just seems like such a Mass Effect thing, you know. Or just your generic sort of answer-response kind of game. Walking Dead, you know, just... sassy response. Generic sassy response. Let's go to number 1. It's not my style. Again, perfect. Now please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. Number 1, I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. And number 2, I didn't solve it. Someone else let me in. And number 3, trust me, you don't want to go over there. And none of those are quite the answer that I want. None of those at all. Hello there, Xanazo, I believe that is. Thanks for joining. Sorry, I just knocked my microphone there, I'm just holding it still. My mom says to press number 3, so I'm gonna take her advice. Oh no. But I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It's the most important thing in the world. We must escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there is no... Fine, be like that. I didn't quite get the last bit of that. Maybe one of you guys can tell me what it was. I can't get up here. Hi there, Blue Magnus. Thanks for joining. Right, okay. Is that supposed to be a fire? Oh no, it's a furnace. Sorry, I thought it was a pair of shoes. It's a bit low res. Sorry, Coda. Yeah, what exactly did that last bit say? Can anyone tell me? People on YouTube can actually rewind. Amazing. I think they can anyway. It's video on demand kind of thing, whereas Twitch doesn't unfortunately have it. I don't know, maybe I'm going blind. Wait a moment. Same room again. I think. Yep. Hello. How did you get here? Oh, wait a moment. I've got to answer this correctly. Okay, alright. Maybe I can I can do other options that I wasn't supposed to do. I'm kind of curious what they do. Oh, wait a moment. It's not the same option. Sorry. Yes. Do you want to know how to solve it or no? I've been right here this entire time. I'm going to go with number 2. I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the blank space in the middle. What? What happens if I solve it? Number 2, why would I sit in the black space? Number 3, who are you? I'm kind of curious about that one, actually. You need to buy some soda. Soda. Oh god, I just missed the entire dialogue from looking away. It goes way too fast. I can't read that fast, unfortunately. There is nothing I want more. Okay, so I just missed the entire of that, unfortunately. Let's go down. Why are people saying poor Jen? I'm home alone tonight.
So
oh, Pete left you.
Last descent down to the final floor of the level.
It's alright, you got us to keep you company, Jen. Oh, well fine, guys. Go off and play Saints Row. See if I care. God, this is a bit claustrophobic. Don't like tight spaces. Oh. What's this? My old university campus. Actually, it looks a little bit like Silent Hill. Yes,
okay,
it is.
I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is.
It just reminds me of the school in Silent Hill.
We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them.
Are there any of those mumblers around?
Go, that idea will get clearer and clearer.
Or the children. Right. Okay, so we're moving on to the next one by the looks of it. How's the stream so far, by the way, guys? Quality-wise, you know. This game is What? As you walk around, you can leave notes. All the notes you see are left by other players. What? Really? Okay. What? How do I see it, though? So much easier when I'm not on a keyboard, you know, and I'm like, I have a limited number of buttons to press. Did he tell me, or did I miss that part? Interact mouse 1. Oh, right, okay. No. Oh, what? Oh, wait a moment. Sorry. Nice room. Not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet.
Oh.
All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level. and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually.
For the record, guys, me and Win should be playing Obscure 2 some point this year. We might play it for the anniversary of when we played Obscure 1. And also, thank you for the feedback on the stream. Glad it's working okay. Don't forget that if you want to watch it in higher quality, I do record it in higher quality as the YouTube description, suggests. You can watch it the following day in a much higher quality. I think it's about 3 times, 4 times more higher quality if, you want to watch any of it back at all. Or if you miss it at any point, Whoa, holy shit. Can you guys hear me? Can you? Hello. Yeah, I recently revamped the style of my stream. It's taken a good while,
feel
but
free
yeah.
to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing
Getting
anything
there
for
bit by
you.
bit.
Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either
Right.
way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness.
I get that.
I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Why do I get this feeling that this person suffered from, like, severe depression or something like that? I mean,
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection.
Oh god.
I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
I just saw a flying penguin. Let me tell you, it was the most majestic thing I have ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I never want to see again if nothing will be that beautiful again. I am now, I am crying now and plan on ripping my eyes out. Sorry. I must now, I must go now to do that. Oh man. Do you feel like a hero yet? No, I haven't read enough of these. This game is no nice. I would like it when I could... What? In a world full of notes, one man will read them, all of them. This summer, you will believe blue speech bubbles can talk. Sorry, this is far more amusing than I thought it would be. Cool caravan, bro. Oh, no, cavern. Sorry, not caravan. We're running out of space. Soon we will suffocate. There are too many messages in this area. Why? Hey, I can type here. Yeah. I get that. Yeah, people who've never heard of Obscure. Obscure is a bit of an obscure game. It's so funny. Sorry. Yeah, it's, it was on the PlayStation 2, and imagine Silent Hill with 2 players, and the characters are teenagers who are trapped in a high school full of horrors. And it's a bit cheesy like Resident Evil 1. Alright, Damned Husky, thanks for joining. It's been brilliant having you with us. What the shit is this cavern? Oh, it's a terrible joke. It was awful. I've made it so many times in my life. Boring. I don't feel bored. I can assure you, guaranteed that there is an acorn somewhere here in this place, and the sailors are looking for it. Okay. Yeah, Obscure is... It's not a great game overall. It's kind of a bit... it's 50-50. It's good, but it's bad. You know, I don't know how the second game weighs up to it, but me and Win will be finding out at some point. If you're curious about Obscure, there is a stream of it in my miscellaneous stream section on my YouTube that we did last year. So yeah, we should be playing the second game later this year. I refuse to believe. There was a hole here. It's gone now. That's what I'm expecting to read at some point. I need to go to the frickin' bathroom. Recognize me, please. Can I get over to those ones? It's a shame I can't run. I feel like I should be able to. I think I can drop down, that's for certain. Yeah, Obscure was like an entertaining B-movie. I find that about a lot of video games, actually. An Obscure Let's Play series. Haha, hilarious. I'm just bung that in with my Obscure playthrough. I'll have to, like, put them in together. Oh no, I can't fall off here, it won't let me. Can I fall off there? No, probably not. Okay, I'm just going backwards. Probably shouldn't do that. Let's keep moving. I mean... How long have we been streaming for now? An hour? Good lord. Doesn't feel like an hour. Someone say it was an hour and a half long, this game. I think mostly about an hour of my playthrough will be just me reading these things at this rate. There is nothing here, go back. Don't listen to that guy. Good lord, it is Dark Souls. A free t-shirt. Need other side, door, why you so? Door how open? Open sesame. Makes games, includes doors, cannot open door. Thanks. Right, so... Oh, wait a moment, I just have to go down here. These really... This feels like, This feels like a real throwback to, like, games that came out around this time, around about 2009, for the most part. You know, like, when indie games were kind of just starting to get up there. I miss those indie games, you know, like... I think it's going to take longer for me as well, because I'm going to stop and talk here. You know. I miss those kind of games, really, because it brought us games like Braid and, what was the other ones? Good lord, I can't remember for the life of me. Amnesia, I wasn't a big fan of it, but it was still a great game. You know, it's just not my kind of game at the end of the day. I don't like first-person horrors. Why am I forgetting all of them? Come on, guys, help me out with this one. You know the games I'm on about. There's that one that's like, sort of black and white vignette sort of style. I help people because of the internal good feeling I get. Outlast is much further on Arcana, for the most part. New Room. I'm on about the really early ones, you know, like really early 10 sort of, you know, 2010, 2011 sort of games. I don't know, did Outlast come out around then? Do you hear chimes? They keep going, don't they? I would like very much to be desired. Oh. It's not very crowded here, good lord. Scared of writing something, don't want to feel judged. Limbo, there we go, thank you very much for that, Narame. Yeah, that is the game I was referring to, exactly. A game where you leave notes to suddenly everyone. And, Machinarium, as well. Yeah, Amnesia was 2010, exactly. Oh, don't bother. You can go in here, I think. Congratulations, I don't really know where to go with this. This is where I get off. Excuse me? Whoop. Right, okay, I'm getting well away from that area. I failed to write anything here. I am compelled. Stop, turn back, proceeding further will only result in misery. This is... You know, this is kind of depressing. Take my hand, let's jump together. Wow. Sorry, what is in the lead in the YouTube vote? Anyone know? At the moment, there is a lot of... It's not really about what is in the lead, for the most part. I did explain this in the video itself. It's more kind of games competing against each other in invisible categories that I've made up myself. So it doesn't matter what's in the lead, it's more important what you put your vote on, specifically, you know, what you put your votes on. Just keep that in mind. It is the last day today, so yeah. Did Coda commit suicide? I know, I'm kind of getting worried the more I play this. Cabbage shapes our nation. What is that painting? Oh. Looks like something I did on Microsoft Paint when I was a kid. It does not matter if you ever get over there. Hey, don't talk about me that way. Very good game. I think this is not going anywhere. Next time I will do better. I need someone to talk to. Oh god, yeah, this is getting kind of grim, and the narrator's gone very quiet. Don't listen to the other notes. I'm not safe. Jeez, yeah, this is kind of dark all of a sudden. Today I learned you cannot fall off. Ethical. I saw a person walking down there. Now it won't come back. What? No one down there. Devil Tower Star. What's everyone's favourite game? Oh, that's a bit of a hard one for me. I'd say between Silent Hill 2, Final Fantasy 8, and possibly Kessen 2, yeah. Well done, all of you. Painting. What does it mean? Stop faking it. There's a lot of games I like. You know, there's some I don't even think about half the time. Just remember years and years later. Art. Hey guys. How's it going? Just hanging. Miss games. Oh god, I haven't played a Miss game in years. Whoever made this has issues. You see? That is, you know, I can't remember which one exactly. Because there is... They have very confusing names. But one of them. Love it. Try the Swapper. I can't remember the Swapper, but it sounds familiar. I think I do own it. Yeah, 8 is my favourite. I haven't Let's Played it, no. Played it when I was a kid, and then I played it again when I was a teenager several times. Help, I'm trying to speak. I think it's about how things look messy from up close, but perfect from far away. Yeah, I kind of get that, actually. What's this say? From up here, just looks like dots. Cabbage shapes our nation. Do you get what I mean by the Miss games are very kind of blurry as to which one's which? They seem kind of like they merge into one big game for the most part. We all die someday. Okay. Stop pretending you are other people. Spoilers. It doesn't mean anything. Why do I get the feeling that the narrator inherited all this stuff and this person has actually passed away or something like that? It's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. I mean, he did say stop making games. What the hell's Devil Tower Star? That's come up twice now, hasn't it? Yeah, that's what I mean, it does. Also, hello to... Oh god, here we go. I'm trying to pronounce a word again. It's Heed Arson, I think. Yeah, I kind of get those vibes too. He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. I like Tomb Raider Legends ending myself, yeah, though the entire game overall is very mediocre. I think the gameplay is fantastic, but they just didn't utilize it enough. They could have done a better job of doing so. I've expressed that many times though. Maybe I'll feel real someday. Yeah, I kind of agree with Rep there. Favorite game, bit too kind of, you know... Reminds me of Hugh Grant, and I mean that was a compliment. Oh, thank you, Sammy, yeah. I get you there. My accent really doesn't fit up to my region at all, for some reason. Just, yeah. Yeah, we're all here now. Is that Devil Star Tower again? Must be a reason for it, though. His terrible secret, he kept it all well. It's a good job I like reading. I beat the game. Wow, this is going on forever. More room?
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means.
Okay.
Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
I hear some whispering now. Like in the soundtrack. It's getting very kind of you know, dodgy. Yeah, sponsored by Pepsi. I mentioned that earlier. Saddest ending of video games, Klonoa. Really? That's a surprise. Welcome back. Escape. Escape. Need to escape. You cut it up and spread it. Alright, okay. Almost there. I have seen everything. I have traveled the world, never told anyone. Just let me know, guys, you guys who have played before, if I miss anything, let me know, and I'll head back to it. Wait a moment, there's those black dots again. One of them just kind of flickered on and off. I wish there were notes in the real world. Hi, Elf Boy. Thanks for joining. Become one with the spiraling nonsense. Okay. Downward. Keep digging.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, you know, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Right. Almost at the end. I'm not too big on Shadow Colossus. I know I'm gonna get beaten up for saying that, but you know, I'm not too big on it. It's okay. It's okay. I had it on the PS2 originally and was very upset by how it ran. You know, how it performed on the PS2. It kind of put me off it, and when I tried to play it years and years later on the PS3, I just couldn't get into it because of that. Though I did enjoy the general design of it, the vastness of it, and the kind of the inspiration for other developers it would have been. But overall, yeah. Does this puzzle have a solution? Maybe I don't give it enough credit. I think I don't, really, you know. Oh my god, I've been here literally an hour. What the fuck do I do? Help. It's just the same puzzle again. Shit, how do I solve it? Developer, please answer. This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open. Help. Right, so it's just the same...
Because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
No, there is. I thought that was going to be like a plot twist, that there would be no solution to this. Yeah, I agree with you there for certain that Metal Gear Solid 5 seems to be a mess. What the hell? How do you leave notes? That's very loud. What's going on? Oh, it's a load of typewriters. Okay. The lamppost again. Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything, I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why have... what? Are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak. Right, June 2009. Porn stars die too.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kinda just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. So, well... at the end of, like, a cliff by the looks of it. What's that on the left? It said something about wishing, you know. Huh. Yeah, I agree with you that Ico plays really, really bad, you know. I just don't like the mechanics of it. It's an okay game, but it's just not that good. I would give it, like, a solid 5 out of 10 overall. It's... yeah, what? Sorry, I couldn't fit through that door quite there. What's... bubbles? Yellow bubbles everywhere. Cityscape. You, give me smooth. No. Never again. Jesus Christ. I'm actually glad that I'm probably going to be taking a good...
this is it, the whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's going to start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Right. Okay. Worst game. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? Put a giant hole in the ground. Something about a hole earlier, wasn't there? Okay, let's go for that. That's That's not a hole. Okay. Now, what about along the walls of the room? Let's put a huge picture of a horse. I really like a washing machine, or 10 stoves lined up along the wall. I think I really like a washing machine. That's not a washing machine. I think we should light up this room a bit. But oh, wait a minute. Well, a skylight, full ceiling window. Let's open this baby up. I'm thinking 10 times 12 recessed electric 6 in soft LED ceiling lights with fluorescent trim. Good lord, that is a lot of jargon right there. We'll put live Tesla coils in each corner. I think I like the Tesla coils, but I think number 1 wins it for me. I'm kind of curious what's... Okay, that's not happening either. Never mind then. Yeah, I wanted to see outside. I really did. Like, outside these walls here. And a table. You need a table. But there's a table there. Tables were invented in 1935 with a... Really? I'm pretty sure they weren't, but you know. I'm pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference. Who are you? Where exactly are you doing this from? Sorry, I read those backwards as well. There's some interesting porn, I've got to say. Right, let's go for the tables were invented in 1935. Oh, right, so... Oh, right, what do people call this in America? I never thought. Is this still a tape?
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Okay. I mean, it's a coffee table in the UK.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. Okay, I can do that. Definitely 1934 for tables. It's an, that would be a coffee table, an IKEA. Brilliant. People who will watch this VOD will think Twitch guys are the weirdos. Yes, they will. Guys, we actually have an active Twitch versus YouTube thing going on here. You've got to fight each other to the death, okay? No, I'm kidding. It's not the best way to start off a, follow the instructions carefully. Take care that you remember each step. Right, first click on this table. Okay. Good. And go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. Well, this one? Now turn the floor lamp in this room off and turn it back on again. God, I'm never gonna remember this. Okay, now go to the left side sofa. Move it over a little. Left side sofa, move it over a little. Okay. Finally, touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Okay, good lord. I am so bad at remembering these kind of things. Okay, right, so... Right, return to the start. That was over here. See, I'm having trouble remembering where the start was. That's a good start. So who's winning the contest so far, Wind? YouTube or Twitch? Like, how many points have they scored?
And of course, now the table is gone.
Oh, you're on YouTube as well now, Jesus.
To escape.
Oh.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside, and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Right. God, my hair's sticking up at the back. Go down. Stop it. There we go. Okay. Did we, sorry, I kind of missed who won Twitch. Who won Twitch? I mean, who won Wind? Your name is Wind, not Twitch. YouTube stream VOD with the chat. I don't know. Though the thing is the chat's here, isn't it? So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Why are you sad, Mana? What's going on? What's going on? Why is Mana sad? What's happened? Welcome back, by the way. So there's the lamp here. It's a huge open area with a hedge around it. No hedge, actually. It's just the end of the world. Who won Twitchy Wind? Yes. Right. Hello. Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped from prison. Okay. You're me? So you're trapped in this prison too? Yep, I was in the furniture maze.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know,
right.
All of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Okay, I kind of get what you mean there, Mana. I think a lot of us in the chat probably feel that way about this for the most part. You know, we can all relate to this kind of thing about spiraling and never feeling like we're getting much done, and yeah, just getting obsessed with things and stuff like that, you know. I'm sure I can certainly relate to that. Anyway, number 1. Yep, I was in the furniture maze. Number 2, yep, I was in the escape tutorial. Or 3, yep, I was in the reverse prison. I'll say the third one. That's where I am right now. Oh, I'm so glad to know that I get out eventually. What's it like to escape? Hi there. Good God, what happened there? Sorry. Hi there, Tasky. Welcome. Thanks for joining, and it was great to have you with us when we were doing Outbreak as well, before. So number 1, actually, I'm already forgetting what being in the prison was like. Number 2, it's strange, but in a way, I kind of miss being in the prison. And number 3, it feels like being completely still and wildly in motion at the same time. I'm gonna say the third one. I don't know, I just feel most strongly about that. Do you feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared or get out, and then things will be exactly the same as before. Well, okay. Number 1, no. I'm really the same person now as I was back then. Or number 2, it actually does change. I don't feel like the same person at all. Well, okay, I think number 1 is most appropriate. I've answered this question a few times, but I'll answer it again for your sake, Sydney. I'm not going to play Resident Evil 7. Reason being is I just don't I don't like first-person horror. It looks like a fantastic game. I really I slated the absolute crap out of Resident Evil 7 as it was coming out. Like I said, it was going to be bad. It kind of diverted way further away from Resident Evil than I'd ever seen before. But then when I saw it, I was actually kind of delighted at how it had come out. But it's still not my kind of game. I just don't get scared by that kind of stuff. But Pistol Pete, my friend, you can find a link to his channel either on Twitch or YouTube, whatever you're on, in my related sections. He has done a playthrough of it, and currently I'm watching that through, and I'm finding it far more entertaining than I would do playing the game myself, if you get what I mean. I might test the water and play a bit of Alien Isolation, you know, just to see how I feel about that kind of genre. Once again, because it's been a long time since I played a game like that, but I did play Amnesia ages back, and it just could not get into it. I couldn't get into it, you know. Sorry, what's been said? I kind of missed, can't help but think this one of the moments start to develop the way he feels by noticing small things in your life match up to this person's life. Yeah, exactly. Oh, guys, come on. Pick up the mood a bit. It's okay. It's okay. We all understand how you feel, and, you know... Right. Yeah, I have Alien Isolation. I've not played it yet. I've not seen it played so much, but I think I might give it a go. Just to see how I feel about it, you know. But that won't be anytime soon, unfortunately. I've got so many priorities before that. I need to stream more, I think. I really do need to stream more per week. Anyway, sorry, kind of sidetracking a bit, though. I should be taking a break around now. I'm just enjoying talking to you guys. You get that. Right, so I'm going to say number 1, definitely. Oh no, that's awful. That's the worst thing I can imagine. Yeah, I kind of get that. Number 1, don't worry, it's actually not a bad thing, I promise. Number 2, well, you get something else in exchange. Or number 3, the problem is that you don't actually know who you are right now. Okay, this game's making me think a lot. It really is. You can probably understand why. I need to read those again. Number 1, don't worry. It's actually not a bad thing, I promise. Well, I'm guessing seeing the ways I've changed over the years, but haven't changed at all. You know, like watching back some of my old videos, for example. Stuff like that. I have changed far less than I thought I had. Because sometimes I feel like a completely different person in comparison to how I was back then, but then when I listen to myself and everything, you know, yeah. Is that the static from the game or his brain grinding? I think it's my brain grinding, yeah. Also, nice shirt, Alonso, thank you. It's one I got many, many years ago. It's about 8 years old, I think, and I love it. The back of it is very faded, though. You can't see that, luckily, because it kind of sat in a window for a long time, I think. Number 2, well, you get something else in exchange. That kind of fits what I said about the first one, though. The problem is that you don't actually know who you are right now. Or maybe number 3. I don't know. They all seem to kind of weigh up to the same thing, roughly. But I think I relate... I think I further relate to the first one. No matter... Sorry, just reading here. Costa says, no matter how bad things are in life, as long as you do what you can, things will turn out okay. And if they don't, it's no big deal, everything turns around eventually. That is somewhat true. Oh, hello there, Callisto. Thanks for joining. Alright, let's go for number 1. Oh! Callisto. It's Kelly. Hi. Thanks for joining. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? Number 1, no. I think I'm the first person to call back, or 2, yes, I did get a call. That's how I escaped. It's been a while now. My brain kind of... Did I get a call? I've been thinking too much, and it's kind of overwrited everything that's going on at the moment. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, we have a sea bite and a Callisto bite now. Oh, this is going to get confusing. Guys, can you kind of come to some sort of agreement to have one of you change names, if that's it. No, I'm just kidding. I can clearly tell the difference between you, but yeah. Make a petition to make Alonso dye his hair rainbow. I might dye my hair soon. Right, I don't remember. I actually do not remember if I got a call back in the prison. I don't want to lie to this person. God, why am I thinking about this so much? But that call could... Oh yeah, you're right. That's a good thought there, Wind. Yeah. The first person to call back. Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of you is going to have to be a bite and the other one's going to have to be a bit. I like that. That is perfect sledgehammer. Yeah. You're going to have to decide between you guys. Who's going to be the bit and who's going to be the bite. Okay, I'm going to say 2. Yeah. What did they tell you to do? What did you have to do to get out? Oh god. All they told me was to be sincere. Or 2, they asked me how I felt about being imprisoned. Or number 3, they just talked to me for a while. Many of those things have happened, actually. I think the second one hasn't happened, but let's go for number 3. What? That freed you? How does that work? Number 1, listen. You can't know until you're out, but I promise it'll work. Number 2, just talk to me. Number 3, it will make sense. I suppose... Right, that meant... Okay. So if this happened to me apparently in the past, and I'm talking to this person now, and I'm free, I guess number 1 makes the most sense. Okay, I can talk. Let's just talk for a bit. Will you be here? 1, I will be here for as long as you need me. Right.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Okay.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Alright. Sorry, I've been playing with a pen for God knows how long. It's actually been about 10 to 15 minutes since I had my hand on my keyboard and mouse.
Puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Oh, no, don't spoil anything. Careful. Some people might not have played Life is Strange. Yep. Cut out the Life is Strange stuff from, well, you can talk about it, just not anything major, you know. I don't want, anyone getting any spoilers, because it is a fantastic game and you need to go and play it yourself. You know, don't even watch my playthrough before you played it yourself. I want you to play it, because it is such a good game. There's one of those people with the faces in there. What's that say? Yeah, a bit of a shut-in. Yeah, that sounds about right. I can go in there. I kind of want to avoid it just for a moment, just so I can see what's going on outside there. This seems really dark.
Just so you're aware,
yeah, even my mum's played Life is Strange, and yeah. Take care, Ataku Rider. Thank you, Riser. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah. Okay, let's go back. Actually, never played... Oh, hi there, 100th School. Thanks for joining. I've never played Life is Strange, but I watched about 10 Let's Plays. I said today that I'm gonna finish my playthrough of Life is Strange in July. I'm gonna tie up those loose ends that I left undone. I mean, I did finish the game, I just didn't do everything I wanted to do. I wanted to do a second playthrough, where I just do everything that I didn't do, you know, even though I would choose not to normally. Clean? Well, my goodness. I'm glad as all heck you showed up. Thought I might have... What? Might be having to clean this entire house by myself, and right miserable. Oh, I don't need to rush on this. And right miserable.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Including this new and improved chat system,
I actually like
which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes. That's kind of true, actually. I've experienced that recently. Number 1. Don't worry about me. A place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. Number 2. And lousy homes make home loners. And number 3. Are we cleaning this whole place? I'm gonna go number 1. I don't want to leave this cube head man alone, or woman potentially. Well now, you just might be getting a little ahead of yourself there, no? Why don't we start cleaning and then you decide whether you could do it all night? I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Okay. Yeah, I think everyone should play Life is Strange, because it became so much more of a game than I expected it to be. I did originally say, I stated this at the end of playing it, that I thought it would be an absolute blockbuster, and I wasn't wrong. Because when people first saw the trailer, it's like, oh, angsty teenage girls, it's gonna be shit, you know, and all this. It's gonna be all about drama, and, you know, it's gonna be really pathetic for the most part. And I kind of saw something special in it. The initial trailer's got a lot of dislikes on YouTube, you wouldn't believe, you know. Oh, that was... Oh, good God, I'm good at that. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now, would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Don't try anything dodgy, though, okay? Liking this music, for the record. It's nice. What's behind here? Very low-res room, by the looks of it. There is something in there, but I can't quite see. Depends what you're using those lonely hands for. Brilliant. Yeah, music fits Life is Strange, quite right. It does sound like the original soundtrack of it. Good lord, I would love to have a home like this, though, you know. I like this one I have currently. Providing I can sort out the fucking silverfish! Alright, so into the bedroom. This is quite nice for a game that was made, you know, 2009. You have to consider that this came out before... It's sort of like around when Penumbra and stuff was coming out, you know. Like the later games, I think. No, actually, it might have been a bit earlier, thinking about it. Would have been just before Amnesia, yeah. And honestly, like, Amnesia was pretty much state-of-the-art at the time. Yeah. While you're in there, you don't mind straightening out the rug a bit. All the little details matter. There we go. Sideways rug, I like it. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? How'd you end up doing this job? It's been a long time since I've seen a house this messy. It's not that messy, bloody hell. I've seen worse. Some of the people I stayed with years back, good lord. I'm quite clean myself, but fucking hell. Wait, the entire of this bedroom's slanted, actually. I've only just noticed. It is. The bed and the rug kind of align, but the, yeah. Right, okay, let's go for number one. I'm curious. Well, I don't enjoy it so much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel kind of calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems, which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, that and a tidy couch. Would you straighten the pillows on the sofa over there? Blasting metal through I fight and cleaning like a madman. That sounds like me. Absolutely. Yeah. I always put on loud music while playing games. I mean, while cleaning my place, you know. Oh dear. Looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up. As long as you're over there. Okay. Well, I did kind of move, but there we go. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Number one, make it especially cheesy. Yeah, I'll try to get by. And number three, do you absolutely have to? I'll pick the first one, I think. I do want to know, but yeah. ... No. No, it was stupid, sorry, never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Okay. Definitely avoiding something. Last I checked, the tub needed cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best as you can? No need to be perfect, we're all human. This is very bizarre, isn't it? Yeah. Where are we going here? I'm kind of getting vibes like, you know, he did this on purpose to kind of animate that feeling of when you grow to trust someone after they've been helping you and stuff like that. Kind of to pull your life back together, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Sydney Grace. At the moment, there's a vote ongoing. You know about it. It's got Spyro on it. Oh, do you mean Spyro 1? Spyro 2-3 was on there, but Spyro 1 was not because I played it to death. I might stream it, you know, just if 2 and 3 do well first. But yeah, may as well play the games I've not played first. What, you crying, Wind? Oh dear. There. Scrap the tub. Okay. I got rid of cracks on it. I'm confused. Are there still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? Okay. Oh, Jesus. Perfect. Now then. How about you come and clear these dishes off the table?
House cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Hi there, Pink Palace. Yes, I will definitely play Golden Mask at some point. I'm saving that for after I've finished all the classic games, and, you know, I thought it'd be there for sort of like a little bit of a throwback sometimes down the line, you know. House cleaning is so difficult. How do you do it? Are all houses this easy to clean? Or 3? Do these chores ever end? Alright, take care, Sledgehammer. I actually need to talk to you, so if you're gonna head off, I hope you can come back soon, before the end of this, you know. Oh, I'm sorry there, hi Dawson, I kind of get what you mean. Yeah, it is a bit slow paced, maybe. I'll pick it up a little bit. Alright. I'm just enjoying kind of taking this all in and talking to people. Darling, let me tell you something. Your house is only as difficult as you clean as you are. If you're finding the work hard, maybe have a bit of housekeeping to do before you come to work. Right.
Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Right. Ha! And here I go with another lecture. Of course I would. Don't you worry about all that nonsense. For now, just smooth out the rug in the bedroom. Yeah, for the record, the reason why I might be sort of communicating a bit too much with people is because I haven't actually streamed to this velocity before, so I'm a little bit nervous for the most part due to how many people there are here at the moment, so yeah. I hope that's okay. Alright, straighten out the rug. Looks like the tub has gotten rather dirty. Would you mind tidying it up a bit? Okay, let's do it again. Earlier, when I said I had something really had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Huh. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. Number 1. I get it. That's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. And number 2. You're right, that's pretty cheesy. Number 3. There's a bit of truth in it, no? Well, huh. I guess they're kind of right, yeah. Let's go with number 1. Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Would you please clean up the books? Thank you. Okay, back to the books again. Oh goodness. Those pillows over on the couch are a real mess.
Glad he found some peace.
Would you go over and straighten them a bit? Can't have these folks coming home to a messy couch. Wait, it's not even his house? Alright, take care. Thanks for joining. Question.
But,
do you enjoy this?
It can't last.
What? Okay.
The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well.
There goes the glass as well.
You can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Okay. It's not quite what I was expecting him to say. Right. Let's head up here. I'm kind of getting those dark vibes back again, for the most part.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? that sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Right, September 2009. Items you love.
This one gets a bit goofy.
At members only price. Why did you come here today? I'm in a lecture theatre. What, was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationship more meaningful? No. You came here to become perfect. This workshop... I moved, okay. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, whoa, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know who is well developed as a person and they make you feel disgusted with yourself? Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how we do it, but how we do it effortlessly. This is so easy. So easy. So easy. Being perfect is... what the fuck? Effort... okay. Huge black hole. Can someone mention to... oh.
Suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Can someone mention to Ruby that if she's having trouble watching it on Twitch, she might be able to watch it better on YouTube, because it has less issues after all, so yeah. Take care, Hoshi, thanks for joining. Okay, so this is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? On the way to work, I told an elderly person to start contributing to society. Kids should not follow their dreams. Okay, let's go to number 3. I love that. Sorry, I'm just picking the worst thing I can think of here. Well, let me tell you right now. It isn't effortless. Then it's not the right answer. I still love you. It's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. Gosh. Yeah, YouTube is kind of working. That's good. At least there's that. It should be working a bit better at least. Oh, there, wind. Right, 2. I'm trying to avoid the yellow options. Thank goodness all of you perceive me as being wise and intelligent. Drinking is not hurting my life. Okay, this has gone on a little bit. If you were torturing yourself, trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Okay. I'm gonna go with number 1. Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is for you. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? Ew, I'm developing a cyst. Gross. Number 3. Haha, just kidding. Anyone want to do some more ecstasy after this? There is no truth. There is no path. I don't know for number 2. What if I'm not a good teacher? Do what is easier. Do what is simplest. Feel what is true. Holy shit! You guys, something is coming out of the back of the... whoa, wait a moment, what? Oh, the back of the... right, yeah, that kind of is there. Yeah, that's very much there. Let's draw attention to it. Why not? Nothing. No one. It's coming for you. It's going to destroy you. Everyone, run! Run! I'll go for number 2. Just listen, it says on his face.
I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person
having a black hole in the back of a classroom
and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
It could be like a something that's there to represent.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Stage, okay. Oh, fucking hell. That wasn't necessary. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, people. Oh, don't do that. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. Whoop, whoop, whoop. First, you'll start off leaning against this wall. I've probably played The Sims. Yes, I've played The Sims. I've played lots of The Sims. Good, stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Number 1, hello. Number 2, sorry, I have to leave. Or number 3, where's the bathroom? I'll start with hello, I think. Hello. That's it. That's not a conversation. You actually need to converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. Oh, I'm sorry, Ruby. I hope you're alright. Number 1. I'm super scared right now. Number 2. I like you. Number 3. Here are all my hopes and dreams. Okay, this feels like this kind of thing whereby... I've had this experience before, actually. Where I've not known what to say to people and this kind of thing does run through my head. You know, do I tell them how nervous I am? Do I try to warm up to them? Or do I just blurt out everything I want out of life? Does anyone else get that? Okay. I'm gonna say number 3, actually, because I feel like that's probably the thing I would do the most. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent people nearby. Now talk to her again. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. I'll bet you've learned to lean into the pain. What are some sacrifices you've had to make? I'm glad it's not just me, yeah. Let's go for number 1. You're messing it up all again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Okay. It's pinball. Yes. Oh. Well, looks like we're back in a prison again. A very large one this time, though, at least. So we're heading in this direction. Oh. Okay, yes, that...
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world.
Wait, what?
And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Right, okay, so June 2010. Mobius trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Okay, well I can definitely do that. Click to begin the game. Alright guys, I'm going to be going dark on you unfortunately. God bless you all. Oh, before I go off, just want to say, Mac Forever, could you possibly stay behind at the end? Want to just have a word with you about something and also remind me on because my memory is fucking awful. Right, here goes. Right. Well, I get the feeling that the screen is very bright at the moment. I mean, something's definitely illuminated. Right. Okay, have I got to move around or something? At the moment, what am I doing? Oh, here's something click. Oh. What? Okay, the soundtrack was restarted. What am I doing? What am I doing?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise.
Oh.
And there is a solution, by the way.
Okay. I'm blind? What? Oh. Is that supposed to be me? Help, I'm blind. I can't see anything. What's going on? Right, okay. A real blind stream, brilliant. Okay. What? Oh, it restarts. Right, okay, I got you. So that's why the soundtrack kind of loops afterwards. What's going on? I can't die like this. I can't die like this. Okay, that's not really solved anything. Please, someone talk to me. Please tell me how to solve this. Sure, why not? Have I got to press something, maybe? Oh. Am I going to be killed by a giant door? It's Bob Steven in first person. I love... yeah, exactly. Perfect. I'm not blind. I'm not actually blind. I don't know yet. I'm trying to find the shields. Oh. Maybe they're here. Please don't let this be forever. Isn't that a reference to something? No. Can't do anything here. Fuck you, giant door. Yeah, that's not helping. Wait a moment. Is there a door there? I believe there is. Let's try going that way. Oh, yep, here we go. We're going up. Can't see anything. It's a lie. I'm bursting with creative energy. I can't keep making these. My work is always fun. I can't keep making these? Yep, that's it. That's the truth. Right. I don't feel it anymore.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
I would have wondered that much sooner, really. Hello there, it's Ballarat Gaming Hub. Yeah, thanks for joining. Right, so options. I've got number 1. I don't feel it anymore. Number 2, I'm out of ideas. And number 3, it's draining me. I would certainly feel the third one for the most part. I mean, from experience. Keep going, keep talking. I haven't been honest. I can't figure out how to say the thing. I thought it was going to be easy. Finally streaming on YouTube, lol. Actually, I've already done that before. This is the first time in 2 years, so yeah. I'm gonna go with number 1. I really am curious. You're doing it. It's working. I'm getting the feeling I'm gonna get the answer here. I'm alone. I'm stuck in it. I have to work harder. So number 1. We're going to be okay. Right.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
It's 1 month extra almost every time. So this is December 2010. Hello, where am I? Or what is this? What is this? Blood. Chris's blood? Where did this island come from? How do I get out of here? Hello, is anyone there? I'm gonna... Where did this island come from? Go on. Oh, more of it. Now this certainly feels like mist. Yeah. Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. ... What's wrong? You look lost. I'm completely out of ideas. When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. I'll go for number 1, I guess. Oh no. What's happened? Did something change? Number 1. There was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. Number 2. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me. Start it again. I'm gonna go for number 1. I kind of relate to these feelings for the most part. Something changed? Oh, yep, here. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. What? You have to take me to it. I need to see it to know why it stopped. Let's go for number 3.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
Right. I can take you to it, but there's a problem. It's guarded by a difficult puzzle. If you can help me solve the puzzle, we'll find the machine. Deal? Number 1, deal. Number 2, deal. Number 3, it doesn't matter what I say, does it? We're going to end up, there one way or another, right? I'll just go for deal, I think. Let's keep going this way. How old are you? I'm 25. Perfect. Come along now. I'll show it to you. Right? Random Japanese archway. Chinese, I'm not sure.
Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him,
clear racism.
This was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Hey, I recognize this. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how to do it? Number 1, first you have to close the door. Number 2, first you have to open the door. Number 3, first press the switch on the inside. So number 2, obviously. Okay, now what? Number 1, now you have to close the first door. Now you have to open the first door. Number 3, you have to press the switch on the inside. Well, you have to close it, don't you? And I need to go through, don't I? I nearly didn't then. Alright, what's next? Now just close the first door. Now open the first door. And now press the switch here. Let's do that. There we go. Ha! That was so simple.
You can't talk
Can't believe
yourself out of loneliness.
I never
It doesn't work that way.
solved it before
You can't
this.
be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Right, okay. Which way did I come from? That way. Sorry. Just got a bit disorientated. I'm completely out of ideas. What is this? Where did this island come from? I need to see it to know why it stopped. Deal. Hey, I recognize this. There was a machine that kept me going and it stopped. Right. There's no machine here. These are just words on some walls. Huh. Hi 2017, thanks for joining. I'm glad you're finding it interesting. Sounds like someone's crying. Can you guys hear that? Yeah, definitely hear someone. What are you talking about? 2, there's no machine here. I'm gonna go for number 1. Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. And number 1, okay, making games is simple. 2, sure, making games is easy. Number 3, alright, making games is effortless. Well, okay, may as well just press any one of those because they equate to the same thing for the most part. Hi Evan, thanks for joining. Thank you very much. What? Ah, that feels wonderful. It's breaking down the boundary and can see even more of the dialogue that previously happened, I believe. Why am I kind of looking up over trying to anyway? That's not how it works. Number 1. But it wasn't true. Number 2. Why did the walls just crumble? Number 3. Why did I feel so awful when I said that? I feel like this is a metaphor for... That's what I was looking for earlier, wasn't it? For what's going on at the moment, you know, like what he's feeling at the moment or something down the lines there. I'm gonna go for number 1. Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. Number 1. When I make games, I feel completely energized. I am constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. God, that sounds like some kind of survey that you fill in at the job center or something. After doing like work experience. It is easy. It never stops being easy. Well, once again, all mean the same thing. I'm just going to press every button at once. Why not? Okay, that did not work. Number 1, I guess it was. Yes, that's wonderful. Keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me.
Every time
him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Every time I make something, I feel better about myself. Or number 2, just never stop creating and you'll never feel bad. Or number 3, it's such a simple solution. None of those, again, reflect how I feel, of course. They're the complete opposite of what I feel, for the most part, so... yeah. Though I'd say number 1 I most relate to. Perfect. That feels fantastic.
I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
I like the way you've all gone very, very quiet. I guess kind of reflects how I'm feeling for the most part, actually. I'm not wanting to talk. Number 1, none of this is helping. Number 2, I'm going to vomit. Number 3, please, where is the machine? Okay, I'm gonna go number 1. Hooray, Sledgehammer's here with some fries to cheer us up. Patience, you have to trust me. I promise that this will work. Please continue. Number 1, pain breezes effortlessly off me. Any sacrifices made for my work are worth it 100% of the time. Number 3, it always pays off eventually. Huh. Well, Okay, I'm gonna go for number 3. I just don't feel any of these at all.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time.
Yes, more, keep
I don't know
going.
how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Well, I suppose this game is pretty much just... This is going to have 2 conclusions, I just know it. The first one is this person, as we thought earlier, is long gone, you know. But the second one, I believe, is that he quit game development and felt better for it, you know. Because he was so kind of trapped in that kind of loop, as we've experienced here. Yeah. So, number 1, there is no shame, no fear, no guilt. Number 2, I will be saved by my work. Number 3, I believe this unquestioningly. I am a vessel for certainty. Right. Okay. I don't even know how to answer this. My brain is getting slowly number. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to say that sledgehammer, but yeah. Incredible. That's it. I'm free. I'm free. What?
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
And this one's the last one. May 2011. Was this 2 months later? The Machine. God. Huh. Wait a moment. Said something about God. Ma'am! Glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. Wait a moment. Is Kota female? I never thought about that. Did he ever hint that on their gender? You know. Number 1, I intend to be quick. Number 2, I intend to be quiet. And number 3, I intend to be brutal. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing you should know about... I just missed the entire of that. Great. Never said their gender. Okay. Right, thanks for clearing that up. I assumed that they were male. Oh, jeez. Can I not talk to them again? I kind of missed what they said. Fucking hell. Oh, well. So this is the press. Great. How did you capture the machine? What will you do with it? Will it be punished? Where is the machine now? Please give us answers. Right. Where are you? Okay. Let's keep moving through this. You stopped.
And of course, it's the machine.
Do I need to press 1? Number 1, you stopped feeding us. Number 2, your work was keeping us alive. Number 3, your work was keeping us healthy. Okay. Let's go for number 2. Kaladin, I hope that is the case. I really, really hope that is the case. It's kind of ran through my mind a few times, actually, that this might be pure fiction. In which case, that's fantastic. I don't want anyone to... I don't know. You kind of get what I mean. I'm playing with this pen far too much. Right. Number 1, those people out there. Can you imagine what pain you've put them through? Number 2, it was only because of your creation that any of us could make it through every day. Number 3, how could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? I don't even know what to say about that. Hi there, guy. I'm gonna go for number 2, I think. Number 1. So here's what needs to happen. You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize to them. Number 2, You have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. Number 3, I've been so alone. Okay, this kind of vaguely strikes a nerve in me, I guess. From personal experience. Okay, like, let's go for number 1. Yeah, it does sound a bit Silent Hill-ish. Reminds me of the power generator at the school, actually. Number 1, no, nothing. Number 2, think carefully. I know how to hurt you. And number 3, I have seen the thing that you fear. I'm gonna go for number 1. I don't do intimidation well. Number 1, alright then. I will speak to them for you. Right. My followers! Or my friends! Let's go from my friends. Sure, why not? It falls on me to deliver the bad news. I have a troubling revelation. Right. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean by that, Wind. About Evangelion. That's one thing I do remember about it. Okay, let's go for number 1, I guess. Kind of mean the same thing to a degree. I mean, we're heading towards the same direction. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. Let's go for number 1. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. Or we will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. I'm gonna go for number 2. Let us pay it retribution. Number 2. Let us show that we are not failures. I'm gonna go for number 2. What? Follow me, we will destroy the machine, or follow me. We will destroy everything that the machine has created. I don't want to do either of those, really, but, you know. Let's go for number 2. You know. I don't know, I kind of think it's about the creation or the creator, you know. I don't want to destroy the creator, naturally, so it'd be better to destroy the creation, for the most part. Oh, we're back on the stage. Okay. What? Okay, here's the gun. Hello. What do I do? It's very quiet again. Wait, I can shoot the chairs and a lot of the stuff around it. Do I have infinite ammo this time? Oh, I do, okay. So I can just... Shooting all this causes kind of white blotches to appear everywhere. Coda, I'll make sure your work dies here.
Self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for it? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Right. I can relate to being self-destructive. I mean, my early YouTube days I was self-destructive. That's why a lot of my series don't actually exist anymore from the very beginning. Oh god.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Hi there, True Barload. Thanks for joining. Sorry, I was a bit late on that. Kind of paying attention here. Put down your weapon. Can I do that? Oh.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do?
Okay.
It's the thing that I always feel like I need. To be told that my work is good. That I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something...
I can't help but aim at the machine. I can't help but shoot for the record.
Like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
Right.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Right, okay. It's June 2011, not much time has actually gone by here. The Tower. This starts to look like one of the earlier ones again. Sorry, my throat's a bit fucked. And my headphone nearly fell off there. Right.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
Yeah. Feels like I'm just kind of being absorbed into the center of the room for the most part. Oh, God. The Death Tower Star thing. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
This room actually has a maze in it.
What's off the edges? Oh! Okay, it doesn't like me going.
All the walls of the maze are invisible. Oh. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Right, good lord, this would take hours. This would take literal hours. I mean, you would have to just very, very gradually map it out. Oh, good lord, yeah. Okay, never mind then. You would have to actually draw your own map of it. Well, providing you didn't, like, look at a guide of it, of course. God, my voice is getting really raspy. I'm gonna just pour myself another drink here. I've kind of been a bit hooked on this game. I mean, I haven't taken a break and it's been 2.5 hours nearly. It's not good, is it? I wasn't expecting it to go on for so long, but I have been talking a lot as well. Or I did do towards the middle section of it.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable.
Take care, Sydney.
Like
Thanks
the
for joining.
house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
So
the only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Okay, yeah, how long would this take to solve? I'm actually curious now. Now, there is a way to multiply the possibilities, but I cannot remember how to do it. It's been a long time, because I think I did it during, Tomb Raider 1, because I got a little bit confused by the lever puzzle in it in... oh god, what's it called? Is it Palace Midas? I think it might be. Just to see what it would be like, you know, if you didn't actually have a proper solution to it. Right, there you go, Max wrote it down there. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I, yeah, if you brute force it, you'll be there for a long, long time. Good lord, you would be there for a long, long time. Oh, is it? Right, okay. Hi there, Cozy. Thanks for joining. Are you because you've joined towards the end, possibly? Spotlight. Huh. Guess I've got to fall down here. Don't see any other way to go around. There's some of the sound.
To open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem.
Huh.
But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
So this is entirely just a series of
Was I a
metaphors for the
failure
most
for not
part.
understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean.
Oh.
And he wouldn't.
Thanks for following, Cozy. I didn't even know you weren't. Hi there, Darren. A lot has happened, to say the very least. Yeah. Wait, there is a shorter path? Oh, okay. It's good to know, I guess. Oh well. I suppose it gives us more time to kind of take it all in. Though we might be here for a while now.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
Right. Oh god, I answered this question earlier, Danny, and many other times. I might just do a big video on Resident Evil 7 and why I won't play it. Can someone explain for me? Thank you. Also, welcome to the stream. I'm sorry
screw up?
for being cranky. That's really bad of me. I feel bad now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Danny. Don't. I hope you still love me. Oh, this is a bit of an emotional game, so I'm having mood swings. No, I'm kidding. Right, so dear Davey, thank you for your interest.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did.
What?
I poisoned it for you.
Okay. Let's move on to the next room then, I guess.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whether you think I am making these games for you. Right. You've so infected my personal space that...
the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Right. Okay. I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere hidden between games. It's like some sort of art gallery or something. Is there an answer? A meaning? Would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give. Violating the one boundary that keeps me safe. Right. You guys forgot to mention the part where I said that, you know, with Resident Evil 7, I do actually think it is a good game. It's just not my genre. Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them. What? The lampposts were what he added?
And then you stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing.
Would you simply let them be what they are? Okay. When I am around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something, and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than than about me. I'm starting to think that Kota is like him. He is, you know, Kota. Wait a moment, am I missing something there? I thought I saw something on the wall behind me. No. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks, and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
Right. Yeah, I'm getting that. I'm getting those vibes. Sledgehammer was number 23. And when you finally see what I'm talking about... Nothing else. Yeah, just don't say anything. Oh.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Epilogue. Right. Okay, we're in some sort of train station, possibly. I don't know. Huh.
More.
Sorry, I'm a bit
more.
Speechless.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
Okay. Yes, it is a train station. And there's the train. Yeah, I didn't think that either, Kelladin. Absolutely. Guess we're going on. Very traditional style train. I like it.
Solution.
No windows.
Solution.
Oh. Okay. Well. That was the fastest journey I've ever been on.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Mansion. Zombies everywhere, Alonso.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
There's sand in this room. Okay. Well, okay. This is a little bit claustrophobic here. Looks like a
If
cave.
I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
I'm worrying that. I'm wondering that myself, Darren. Yeah. Hi, Nico. Thanks for joining. Sorry, it's a bit of a low point at the moment, so I'm not very talkative. Sorry, as I moved towards that because of the lighting, it looked like it was moving. I don't think it is, though. Wait, what? I think I just looked through that texture.
What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Well, I think this is the quietest I've ever been during a stream. This is... yeah. I just don't know when to keep my mouth shut half the time, but, right now. Okay. What's this leading on to exactly? I'm completely clueless at this stage, you know. I mean... I don't know when the, metaphors have ended or started, or if, you know, what the person is saying is believable, or, you know, it's just so confusing. Huh. Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. So... has he really just stopped talking completely? Because, yeah, no, this is another area. I thought it was the same as the train station before. Only game to ever make me cry, even though I played Final Fantasy VII back in the day. Even though other games have made me feel sad and thoughtful before, this game hit me right in the feels. So it's a top game in a decade. Right, okay. Yeah, it's... right, it's the shock thing at the beginning. Okay. So I know to just walk into it, I guess. And it's gonna raise me through. So I can... see everything? Okay, Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Now, my brain is trying to figure out how much of that is actually real-time rendered. Or more of how much of it is an actual maze, should I say, not real-time rendered. God, my brain. Start memorizing money. Yep, I don't think I'll be getting through that anytime soon, good lord. I don't think any amount of memory would help me with that.
Turn back.
For?
Turn back from this cave.
Right.
You said, let me prove that I'm brave.
This project would not have been possible without the following individuals.
But the cave goes for
Breadcrumbs might help.
and miles and miles.
Right.
And you're so tired.
Do I wait out the credits? is anything gonna become clear at all, or is it just...
So turn back.
Hi Blumberry, thanks for joining. Yeah, you're a little bit late, but...
Turn back.
Right. Yeah, I'm very, very confused myself. No, that's it. Okay. So, do you guys want to give me your interpretation of this, or, you know, how you feel about it, or what just happened? You guys who know maybe as well, what... you guys who have played this before, seen this before, or anything like that, because I'm just so very, very confused at the moment. You can probably understand why. Release date of the game? Yeah, 2015. Yeah, that's what I put at the bottom there. Of course you're going to be confused at the end. Creator of Stanley Parable, yep. Cleaning metaphors, hard-hitting. Don't get me wrong, I like the game, but yeah, I kind of get what you mean. Yeah, I wasn't recording this in 2015. No, that's the, That's a good point. What is in the chapter select? Just everything we've gone through already. I feel like it was the development of a person's consciousness and their development. There's so much work out there, out without sitting back and taking it in again. I kind of get that feeling too. I don't know whether this, what was their name, Kota person is their self, or if it's an actual person. Like, that part was very, very unclear to me. Maybe the stream isn't actually a stream and it's recording pretending to be a stream. Recorded back in 2015. Yes, brilliant. Perfect. The broom closet ending is the best ending. Wait, what? There's different endings? Are you being serious, or is that some sort of joke that's gone right over my head? Wait, are you being... A few videos, fun. Oh, we're talking about Stanley Parable. Sorry, yes, of course. No, I do. I played that when it was released, and it's so vague in my head now. It's been such a long time. It will have been. And also, at the time, I was so wasted on antidepressants and stuff, so, you know, I can barely even remember it. I think Coda is a separate being, almost like a person looking inwardly at themselves, i.e. with mental illnesses and the like. Yeah. You should play some Super Mario Bros. 2. No, I'm not playing Super Mario Bros. 2. Coda is another person. Is that a certainty, or is that just a guess? Emotional ending of Kevin from Outbreak sitting in a cupboard. Yeah, I get what you mean there. Why have I forgotten your name? My god. Sorry. Fido. Fucking hell. How did I forget your name? That's impressive. My brain is just gone. I've been recording for 3 hours in a row, you know. Yeah, yes, I know for certain that Coda is a separate person. Oh god. I haven't been drinking enough, clearly. Yeah, that was very deep. It was very kind of... It makes you think about things. It makes you reflect on what you know, you've been through as a person yourself, I guess. God, I cannot play these kind of games that often. This is going to have to be one of those, yeah. So imagine me doing game after game like this, you know, Life is Strange, this, and just keep going with games like this that get me all emotional and stuff, you know. I think I'd be, like, lying in my bed every day, you know. I'm sorry if I bummed you out. No, it's fine. It's fine. I can deal with this kind of stuff, you know, in moderation, but my God. It's hard-hitting for the most part, yeah. But I'm glad I played this. Absolutely glad I played this. Yeah, you're right. It's an experience. It's an experience, and thank you once again, Fido, for, you know, getting me this game and insisting that I play through it, because you're absolutely right. It was worth it. You know, I've enjoyed it. Hi there, 93 Caravel. I'm surprised you haven't played Resident Evil Biohazard yet. I know, I am too. I mean, what year is it? It's 2017. What am I doing with my life? Well, we'll be playing it soon by the looks of it, so yeah. Right. Is there any questions you want to ask me before I get on to what I'm streaming next? Because I'm kind of speechless to a degree. I can express some things I feel about this. I've really enjoyed it. I would like an explanation, yes, because it would be good to know what actually is going on. I just thought that none of you had any idea, really. You just had your own interpretations and stuff, so please enlighten me. Blue Magnus, Stormcrow, that'd be great. Don't forget Sledgehammer, Mac, stay behind. Stay behind. Coda's been making games. He keeps taking Coda's games, seeing symbolism and depression that isn't there, and changing. Oh, thanks for following True Barload. I'm glad you stuck around. I'm sorry about earlier. Match the symbol. You actually helped me kind of retrack myself, because I was kind of hesitating a lot, I feel. So you were kind of right there. So thank you for pushing me on a bit. Changing them to match the symbolism and releasing them to people to make himself feel important. Coda hates this and leaves and stops making games, so he can. So he makes a compilation of Coda's games to release the exact thing that Coda hates, so that hopefully Coda will see that he is sorry somehow. Oh, hi Callisto, you're still around. Cool. Davey is projecting his own interpretation of what Coda's work means onto Coda's art, and by extension making assumptions that about what Coda is feeling based on that interpretation. It's partly poking at the question of, does a person's art tell you anything about the artist, and what does your own interpretation of the art, which you then project onto the artist, say about yourself? Okay, well, yeah, okay, that changes everything. Yeah. That makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. It's like trying to help someone who doesn't need help, you know. Yeah, stay behind after class, Mac. Yeah, to me, it seems like the narrator projected his own problems on another person. Yeah, I kind of get that myself. Oh god, yeah. That actually... that changes everything, so thank you. Thank you for enlightening me on that, because I wouldn't have figured that one out myself. I would have just kept thinking about it until I finally got an answer, I guess, a solid answer. Hi Chris Redfield, it's a shame you've just come by late, but yeah, oh, right, you're just dropping in, cool. Thank you for joining, and thank everyone for joining for this. It's been quite an experience, and my god, this has been a bit... Sorry if I've been nervous as well. Of course, this has been the first stream where I've had this volume of people, and, you know, 2 streams going on at once and everything, but it's worked! It's worked. It's actually worked. God, I spent all day working on this. Oh god, and it worked. Sorry, let me just get that out of my system. I'm amazed. Just relax. But yeah, this has been a fantastic game. I've really enjoyed it, and Can't thank you enough, Fido. Cannot thank you enough. It's been really good. Now to play those other games that you got me God knows how many years ago. I am a terrible person, I know. Isn't it illegal to stream on 2 services? I didn't think it was, no. I will check that though afterwards. It made me very concerned all of a sudden. Oh, jeez. I mean, why would Restream exist if it was illegal to stream on 2 services? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, why would... Yeah, well, you get the idea. Okay. Right. So, that's that out of the way. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them at me, but otherwise... Sorry, I just knocked my microphone. What game am I playing? What game am I playing next? I don't even know. My brain has gone completely blank. Let me just check my Twitch. What is next? Yes, I know it's on Saturday. Oh, of course, I forgot. Akana. You could have just jumped in the chat and been like, yeah, you're playing with me! Yeah, because I'm going to be joining Akana on Saturday, 7 PM. That's, of course, you know, my time. London, GMT, yeah, whatever, that. You should have been rude, Akana, you should have been rude. But me and Akana are going to be streaming Ark Survival Evolved together. Not really my kind of game, I think, but it's worth a go. I mean, I thought I'd give it a try, but I thought I thought this wouldn't be my kind of game, so I don't know. Maybe I'll be pleasantly shocked. I've enjoyed this for certain. I mean, I didn't think this would be a narrative-based game that would go so deep. Absolutely. If you have different partnerships, you know, you see I don't have a partnership and I don't do advertising or anything like that, so hopefully, you know, it's not a problem. I mean, I make no money from my streams. I make no money from my YouTube videos, just putting that out there, so, yeah. Chris Redfield, nice to meet you. Did you get past your steroid addiction? I'm following you for... Oh, God, I missed his message. Hang on a moment, I can move around the chat now. But I really love what you're doing. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it. Oh, thank you very much. That means a lot to me. Yeah, sorry, I thought I was still playing the game, and, yeah. Okay. Whew. You can poop and eat it. What? Okay, let's skip playing Ark, and let's move on. No, I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. When you're going to be doing some PS4 streams now that you have one? I don't know at the moment. There's not a lot on PS4, I'm quite surprised, but there are a couple of games that I got it for and I've not played them yet. Aren't I good? But yeah, I do have one PS4 stream plan. That's Little Big Planet with Stella Loon and Ellie Croft. Really looking forward to playing that, even though I don't like the game. I just want to play it with those two because it'll be more fun. Hopefully you can throw poop. I really hope you can throw poop because... it's going to be a selling point for this game for me, absolutely. Right. Oh man, I need a rest. That was exhausting. Every stream's going to be like this from now. Can I handle this? No, I can't handle this. Guys, I'm having a mental breakdown. What's going on? No, I'm kidding. Throw it in Lonnie's face and... Oh my god, Jen. This is what kind of person Jen is. She's so abusive and vile. She holds it back, you see. She holds it all back and... That's what I have to cope with. I want to see you do cosplay of Ark Akana. What? Do the exact same... What? I don't even know. Right, okay, so yeah, Sledgehammer, Mac Forever, stay behind, please, on Twitch. Teacher needs to see you. Yeah, see you in 5 months' time. Otherwise, everyone, I'll be lying in bed for about 5 months, crying myself to sleep. And well, no, I'm fine, seriously. Yeah, poor Pete, poor Pete. You probably deserve... How rude. Yeah. Well, if Ark's good, I might do more streams of it. We'll see. We'll see. We need to get to that first, you know. I need to find out. So, yeah. God, I need a break. I really need a break. I've been streaming for 3 hours now, solid, and... yeah. Thank you so much for joining, guys. This has been fantastic. This has been successful. That's the main thing. It's been successful, you know. With all this effort I've put in, it's been worth it, absolutely. And I need to adapt a new style for this because there's far more people, of course, coming in and going and stuff like that. So, yeah. I can adapt over time, you know. It's used to much less people. thanks for joining, guys, once again. I'll be lingering about in the chat afterwards. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, otherwise, hopefully see you Saturday, and if not, I have a schedule over on Twitch that you can look at if you need to know, what's coming up in future. I do update it regularly. So yeah, people on YouTube, I will start scheduling videos ahead in the same way that I put the schedule on Twitch, if you understand what I mean, that it is possible to schedule videos ahead. It's a bit weird, but yeah. I'll do one in a bit for what am I playing? My God, Ark, yes. And please, if you know how to go about all that YouTubey stuff, I don't know how it works this day and age, you can actually set yourself a reminder, I think. I don't know. Anyway, thanks once again, guys. See you soon.